This episode, you will be hearing the Comica Boom XD primarily out of my Sony a7 III, with only added gain. You will also hear the Boom XD going into a Tascam as well as a GH5. Keep in mind I'm in a completely non-sound treated room, and since moving my entire setup, I am now talking directly at a wall. This message, as well as the TLDR scream section, is actually being recorded with my Blue Yeti microphone. Tilder! What is this? This is the Comica Boom XD wireless mic series. How much does it cost? Anywhere from $150 to $260 depending on which kit you get. You can have two transmitters going to one receiver. You can even split the mics into their own audio channels. It's got a headphone port. Comes with everything you could possibly need. Up to 4.5 hours of battery life. How does it sound? This is a test of the Comica built-in microphone. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is a test with the included Comica lav mic. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Is this a Rode Go killer? It pretty much is. Done. Roll that intro. Hey, what's going on everybody? You're watching Too Long Didn't Read Filmmaker, where the answers comes first, the reasons come last, but we're constantly and always still learning. So today we're going to find out whether or not the Comica Boom XD wireless audio kit is going to be the right solution for you and your overall audio setup. I want to thank Comica for sending this out to me so I can provide you with my unbiased review today. Now, coming in at anywhere from $150 to $260, they have multiple different setups. You can have a single channel, a dual channel, you can go into a USB-C for your smartphone or a Lightning for your Apple phone. So you have quite a few options in terms of what you want to do. The pricing is a little bit not unified right now on Amazon, so that's why I'm giving you that range. Now, it doesn't matter which package you get, you're going to get exactly what you need for pretty much every setup. Now, I'm specifically reviewing the D2, which is the 2 channels to 1 receiver unit. And basically, it gives me both of the transmitters that have a built-in microphone. It's got 2 wired lavalier mics, which are actually quite good. The wire is actually pretty robust, so I'm not afraid of it ripping. You get a wind muff, which is awesome. It can go onto your built-in microphone, or if you want to, you can kind of finagle it into your wired lavalier microphone. And lastly, you do have cables whether you're going into a DSLR camera or you're going into a smartphone. Now, alternatively, Comica has sent me out their attenuator cable because if you're using a Panasonic GH5 or a Sony a7 III, the mic preamp is actually a much more sensitive than before, and the Comica receiver out of the box, it's actually pretty loud. So you might need that attenuator cable if you plan to go directly into your camera. Now let's go over the feature set because the Comica Boom XD, it's got one major standout feature. And obviously, it's the fact that you can use 2 transmitters to 1 receiver, but not only that, yes, you can actually split it into a stereo channel. So 1 transmitter will be on the left channel, 1 will be on the right channel. This is something the Saramonic Blink 500 could not do, but the Comica Boom XD is doing it at the same price point. Not only that, when you're in mono mode, I don't know if Comica purposely did this because I didn't really see it advertised anywhere, but it seems like the left channel is a little bit lower in terms of overall output compared to the right channel. So if this is the case when you're using it in mono mode, whether you're using 1 transmitter or both transmitters, the left channel seems to be a built-in safety track. So that is really, really awesome that Comica did that. So they definitely thought of everything. Not only that, you do get a mute button, so you can mute the transmitters if you want to, which is great. And in terms of the overall output, from each transmitter, you can change them independently from 0 dB to plus 12 dB. This is great because the Rode Go, you could only do -12, -6, and 0. So it's really nice that Comica gives you single increments and you can choose which ones you want to do. In terms of the receiver itself, there is a headphone port, which is awesome. The only thing is, no, you can't adjust the headphone volume. Whether that's going to be a pro or a con to you, to me, it doesn't really matter because when I put on my headphones, didn't sound too loud, didn't sound too soft, sounded just right for me just to monitor the audio. But obviously, it would have been nice if you could adjust the headphone volume. Now let's go to everyone's favorite part, the tests. Let's start off with the battery test. Now in this test, I did my stress test. So I have my transmitters in another room with 2 walls in between. Both transmitters are going at full 12 plus 12 dB, and there's a fan blowing on it constantly so that the sound is constantly being transmitted back to the receiver. And I was actually quite surprised. It came out at 4.5 hours. It's rated for 5 hours, but 4.5 is really not that bad, considering the RØDE Go is only at 6 hours. Next, let's go to the sound quality test, in which everything is being recorded into my Tascam DR40. This is a test of the Comica built-in microphone. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is a test with the included Comica loft mic. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is a test of the Comica built-in microphone. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. You're listening to the RØDE Wireless Go built-in microphone. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is a test with the included Comica loft mic. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. You're listening to the RØDE Wireless Go built-in microphone. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go. Everyone's favorite test, which is the outdoor distance test. Again, I have to reiterate every time. When you're outdoors in a big wide open parking lot and there's no buildings around you, this is the hardest situation you can put a 2.4 gigahertz wireless audio system, because the radio waves can't really bounce around anywhere. They're just spreading out as far as they can go. So your results are going to be way different if you were, let's say, downtown, where there's buildings on both sides of you. That's going to be way different than something like this. Okay guys, so we are out, and yes, it is snowing, so don't ever say I didn't do anything for you guys. Anyways, this is the Comica. I have the wind muff on because it is a little windy, and the Comica is actually right here. Since I'm wearing a jacket, I didn't want the wires to go everywhere. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. So here we are at 50 feet away from transmission. I'm going to turn around over here, blocking it with my body. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Coming right back, and as we're going to keep going. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5.5. So this is 100 feet away with clear line of sight. Again, I'm going to 3. As I come back, here we go again. Now remember that this is out in the wide open, so this is the hardest way for these 2.4 gigahertz systems to operate with no line of sight. So here we are at 150 feet away as I turn around. And I come back, here we go again. Because there's nothing for the radio waves to bounce off of, so that's why it can get a little hairy with how you determine everything. So here we are at 200 feet away, clear line of sight, turn around, and then I turn right back. So here we go again, continuing on. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5.5. Here we are at 250 feet away with clear line of sight, turning around. And then we're going to move right back, continuing on some more. 1, and 2, hitting 3, and 4, and 5.5. Here we are at 300 feet away, testing 1, 2, 3 with line of sight. And I continue back. Let's go. Probably not going to be recording anybody this far away, but here we are, 150 feet. I might have actually miscounted, but anyways, testing 1, 2. And to further prove that point, that line of sight is not necessarily a big deal, here is the indoor obstruction test. All right, guys, so here's the indoor distance test. I'm using the built-in microphone for this test, and I am placing the camera where it used to be, just for consistency. I am facing the wall that's at the camera, then I'm turning around in the adjacent room so that you can hear how that works. And here we go again as we make our way out into the living room, the kitchen, and just now we got multiple walls in the way. And if you can still hear me, great. I'm facing the camera now as I turn around, facing the outdoors, and here we go, going outside. Again, it is snowing, so, and here we are. This is usually where we start hearing some problems. And now I'm gonna make my way just a little bit further down to see what happens. And testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. So what's the bottom line here? Is the Comica Boom XD a true RØDE Go killer? And I have to say, it pretty much is. And I'm gonna break it down in terms of all the things that I'm considering to why I'm making that statement. Because when you look at the Comica's price, feature, and performance ratio versus the RØDE Wireless Go, its overall score definitely beats out the RØDE Go. So let's break it down. Let's start off with pricing. If you're gonna get the single channel Boom XD, somewhere between $160 to $170, whereas the RØDE Go is $200. But when you're getting the Boom XD, you're getting not only the transmitter, the receiver, you're also getting a wired lavalier mic, and you're also getting the cables, whether you're going to a DSLR camera or into a smartphone. If you're gonna go this route in terms of gathering everything you possibly need for the RØDE Wireless Go, you're gonna be spending $200 for just the main unit. You're gonna have to pay anywhere from $10 if you're getting a generic lavalier mic, or up to $50 to $60 for the official RØDE Go wireless mic, or you can go way, way higher than that. So you're already spending money there. If you want the option to go into your smartphone, you're gonna either have to get the TRRS adapter, the official one's about $15 from RØDE, or you can get a generic cable that goes from TRS to TRRS, and that is somewhere between $10. So you're already looking to spend a good amount of money just to get that single channel system to have the same ability as the Boom XD. Where the Boom XD really shines is the unit that I'm reviewing, the D2, which gives you 2 transmitters to 1 receiver. And the magic sauce of all of this is the fact that it's only at about $260, and you're effectively getting two units because you're able to split it into a stereo channel. Again, that means one person talking into one transmitter is only going to be heard in the right side, and the person talking in the other one's only going to be heard on the left side. Not only that, you do have the option to quickly just do a mono mix if you don't want to do anything in post, and the left channel gives you a slightly like -6 dB lower. So you have a safety track as well. And basically what I'm saying is, if you're gonna buy 2 RØDE Wireless Go's with all this stuff, you're looking at spending pretty much up to almost $600 approximately, maybe a little bit less. So $260, not that bad. When it comes to its performance is where we're gonna see a little bit ups and downs. So the audio performance, the RØDE Go still sounds better to me, just a little bit, but the Comica Boom XD is really not that far behind, and it sounds quite good whether you're using the built-in microphone or you're using the included lavalier kit. So that's really going to be up to your ears. For me, it's basically just plucking at hairs. You're really just splitting hairs. Plucking at hairs, splitting hairs. In terms of its battery life, this is something that the RØDE definitely excels in because it comes in at approximately 6 hours, whereas the Boom XD is coming in at 4.5 hours. But keep in mind, that's 4.5 hours with 2 transmitters that is of 2 walls away, and I'm blowing a fan at it so it's constantly transmitting. 4.5 hours for 2 of the transmitters to be transmitting audio, that's really not that bad. Again, splitting hairs a little bit because, of course, if you wanted to go a little bit longer, you can use a very, very small USB power bank and just keep these things charged because it's small enough to just go into your pocket. In terms of outdoor distance and indoor distance, those kind of stress tests, the RØDE Wireless Go and the Boom XD pretty much performed exactly the same. So really you're just splitting hairs on the audio quality, and then you're just determining whether or not that extra 1.5 hours coming from the RØDE Wireless Go is really gonna make or break it for you. So in terms of that, I think it's pretty much the same. In terms of features, again, the major feature of the XD2, the Boom XD2, is the fact that you can take two transmitters and split it into stereo. That is awesome. The fact that you get a headphone jack coming out of the Boom XD receiver, that's also great. And of course, you get a little bit more finer adjustments of the transmitters from 0 to 12 dB, whereas the Rode Go only has -12, -6, and 0. So it's awesome, you have more control. And then lastly, I don't really know if Comica purposely did this, but the fact that the left channel is basically a safety track when you're in mono mode, that's awesome. And hey, that is it for this week, everybody. If this video has made all the influence in your purchasing decisions, I would truly appreciate it if you check out my Amazon affiliate links down below. Again, this costs nothing extra to you. It just gives me a little compensation so I can continue making videos like this for you. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave it down below. I will get to them as fast as I can. And until then, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.